I'm Christy Fritz, and I am recording my final project. What I chose to do for my final project was to paint, and I decided to paint because I had never done that before. It was something that was incredibly new to me. I had told the professor that I normally do photography. I'm very interested in photography. I've always done photography and I really like it. So I thought that this would be a step out of my bounds, basically, and kind of out of the ordinary for me. So when deciding on what exactly I wanted to paint and how I would be creative with that, I thought about what I liked and what I didn't like, and some things that really inspired me. I decided to go with nature. I have 2 little dogs, and we spend a lot of time outside, so there's a lot of stuff outside that would inspire me. Has a lot of creative forms, has a lot of colors, and just really vibrant things. So that's kind of where I went with that. I stayed pretty local. All the things that really inspired me were right outside my door, which was convenient for me and also nice for my dogs because we got to spend a little bit of time together. These actually are my babies. Emmy, that's Amy, and this is my little boy Hendrix, my little family. So I got inspired by a few things. That what I decided to do was take a picture of the actual thing that I was inspired by, and then I would compare that, be able to show you and compare that to my actual painting. So I guess we will get started. I made a PowerPoint slide like presentation of the pictures since I didn't get them developed, and then I will show you the painting that corresponds with that photo. So this is the tree right outside of my house. So one day it was storming really bad, and this tree was just going kind of crazy, and all the branches were everywhere, and it was so black outside, and the rain was coming down so hard, and for whatever reason I really found that inspiring. I just thought that those colors were really cool, and I thought that would be a really neat thing to paint. So this is my interpretation of that tree in the storm, as I called it. All of my paintings have some element of green in them. I just feel like green is the main color of nature, and I wanted to incorporate that into all of my paintings. I wanted to do a lot of movement, as you can see with the brush strokes here. Just different colors. Obviously the blue, the dark blue night sky, the gray for like the rain that came along, and the green I just kind of incorporated lightly in the middle of the paintings. I really liked the paisley design, the paisley shape. I thought that was kind of creative and fun to paint. So all of my paintings kind of have that theme, I guess. So the next inspiration that I had was what's called peach flowers. I called it that. They're flowers that I planted earlier in the season and had no idea how they were going to bloom, but they really turned out nicely. Here's a close-up of actually one of the flowers. I think they're gorgeous. I love the color. I love the shape. It's a long flower with stems or flowers coming out on different parts that I really liked. And then this was the painting that I did with that one. It almost is my more like literal translation of the two. The first one was kind of an abstract deal. This one still has the paisley designs, a lot of green, but I really kind of took the shape of the flower because I thought that was really neat, and I really liked that shape. They're gorgeous flowers, and I just kind of wanted to incorporate their beauty a little bit. This, again, with the movement of the brush strokes, I tried to use different colors. The peach representative of the flower, and of course the green coming from the nature again. So I just really thought that these flowers were really neat. I hadn't seen a whole lot like that, so I thought that would kind of be something that, you know, people hadn't seen a whole lot of. So the next one that inspired me was what I call just pink and white flowers. They were cute little flowers that you may or may not have seen. They're pretty common around here, but I really liked the contrast of the pink and the white together. I thought that was kind of nice. So I decided to take a little bit of inspiration from that, and I created this painting. It's, you know, two separate paintings, two separate canvases again, but I did the same flower and just connected it with this little element of green here. And I really wanted to contrast the white because I hadn't really used a whole lot of white in my other paintings, and I really liked the dark purple background because you could get a really nice contrast of the two. And again, I tried to just do the brush strokes that would add some kind of interest to the piece. So this was a lot of fun for me. This is probably one of my favorite paintings. It's, again, a more literal translation of a flower, but at the same time I really loved the colors in this one. It was a lot of fun to paint, and the paisley design in this one really kind of came out easily and worked well with the piece. I just really thought that it was a lot of fun to create this one. Excuse me. And my last one is the rose. A lot of people get inspired by roses. A lot of people find roses to be, you know, a favorite flower of theirs, or an incredibly beautiful flower. And we have roses growing outside my garden as well. So this painting was actually the first one that I did, so it was kind of my trial and error painting. And it actually turned out pretty nicely, I think. The red on this one is on the outside, instead of it being a more literal translation of a flower. It, again, you can, you know, keep it together or separate a little bit. Again, with the paisley design, I tried to do the green on the inside, and I did kind of a brown mauve color on the inside, and the outside is all red, which I thought, you know, really represented the rose well. And like I said, this was my first piece, so it was the one that I was kind of proud of. I didn't know if it was going to work out. I didn't know if I could paint. So this kind of proved to myself that I actually could do this, and really inspired me to continue with this medium as my creative project, and to really, like, just take it and make it my own. So I just had a lot of fun with this creative project. I just think it's been a learning process for me. Like I said, I had never painted before. I had no idea about painting. I actually had to ask my neighbor about what to paint on. But through this whole thing, I've really learned that I've stepped out of my boundaries, basically, and I've learned to do something different. And that's, to me, an incredibly important aspect of life. So I've really taken this project and ran with it. And I think that in the future I will definitely be painting more often. It was a release for me. It was kind of therapeutic and nice to just see something and then interpret that in the form of painting. So it's something that was incredibly new for me, but then I end up enjoying a lot. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the summer, and thanks for watching.